Did anybody see it?
Today is no, I didn't see it. I was in actually, but I didn't see it.
No, I was flicking. I was doing something else, and then I got in late, and then all I saw was like Des Smith being rolled on. But
Des Smith or Des Cal?
Des Cal.
Yeah.
And then I saw what do you call it? I saw Pat in the audience, not knowing who
he was talking.
There
to.
might have been he was going like, "Excuse me, please," and he'd be talking to somebody, right? And the guy he said, "Excuse me, please," was a 9-time All Ireland
legend,
and he wouldn't know who it was.
Well, I think it was not that Dave saved the show. Oh, sorry, Des saved the
What's
show.
wrong with
Dave
Smith? Dave Smith.
He's just got a common face. Well, it's
It's not the first time he saved Pat.
No,
remember that time that he went and reports are that Gavin doesn't like going into church.
Oh,
no, it was.
right, yeah.
He goes into church after every match.
Goes into church after every match.
Yeah.
What, Des?
And Des kept saying, "No, don't read it again. You're making it worse." Oh, I see.
There's a big reaction anyway. So what's the story with the hair anyway, Martin? Are you going to get a cut or because it really is?
No, it's New Year's resolution. I'm letting myself go. Pat Kenny is an awful presenter. Myself, and my partner here from
get
England.
off the subject now.
Off the fence, Martin.
His
Joe,
problem.
what do you think of Martin's hair?
I think he's growing it for insulation in Saddleback.
Is that the ski trip? Oh, it's pre-planning, premeditated.
Yeah.
He kind of looks like Paulie from The Sopranos. You know, with his stripes.
My wife told me last night that I looked like the guy off the back of the really old Irish Money.
That's right, yeah.
So there you go.
Well, that's Jonathan Swift, isn't it?
Is it? No, he was a really old guy who looked like Caligula or some
Yeah, I know the guy you're
ridiculous
talking
old-
about, I think.
Huh?
Curly, sort of.
Yeah, curly,
Right,
yeah.
that's Jonathan Swift, no?
Oh, there you go.
Not Yates,
No, maybe not. No. Dave
Get
Smith.
the full image.
I think I look like Peg, actually.
Peg Sayers.
Yeah.
Bitch.
The point, going back to Pat Kenny, the point being that his hair is
So
growing
Leah, what
as
do you
well.
think of his hair?
It's interesting.
I like it.
I like the curliness.
Yeah.
I don't think
It's
the
got a kind of a life of its own, really.
I don't think the shaved head suits him.
Do you know?
No. I either prefer this style or the style he had in the I Love Loud GAA ad.
Yeah.
What style was that?
Sort of
can't remember that.
flat on his head.
As opposed to what?
Curly and sticking up.
Anyway, Pat Kenny.
So, but anyway, I just a text this morning from the guy and his partner who are over from England or are living from England saying, and they've pointed out a basic flaw, and I know you're going to disagree with this. His basic flaw is that he has a certain number of questions ready, and no matter where the interview is going, he rigidly sticks to those questions. More often than not, he ends up looking awkward. He's on primetime TV on Friday night in a very small country that offers no competition at all on any other station. And obviously they didn't arrive in time to see the Eamon Dunphy show, which was offering opposition, but wasn't allowed to go for second. Wasn't allowed to
Kenny
go for
likes
second series.
Kenny likes tennis and rugby and soccer. You wouldn't know a fucking Gaelic ball if you know hit him in the face. He just doesn't like it. He's not interested.
Yeah.
I heard the whole show was just all RTE heads as well.
But it's not just about the sport this time. That comment that a person's making is more about Pat Kenny all the time.
Yeah, but
So
isn't that the
what-
perception, though? Is
That's
that
the perception. But I think it's a psychological thing, to be honest with you. I think that he needs to be hypnotised or something. That he's just got, when he goes on mic, he changes. Like he is, I know him, and everybody would have met him.
He goes
And
into
he's-
work mode when he's...
and he's quite good. Like, he'd sit down and he'd have a good chat with you, and he's quite spontaneous and whatever.
He,
but when
he obviously
goes,
sees having a good... See, the people who can do it really well are the people who can somehow bring that I'll have a chat with you mode to their work.
yeah,
but that's a personal
like
thing.
your man Dave Smith.
Yeah. I suppose, I mean, I know Parky is a cliche, but he does kind of bring that to it. He, you know, the way his questions will waffle on for actually quite a long time.
I'm sure Pat doesn't really give
But
a
Kenny
shit
actually,
what we think.
No, but Parky would never ask somebody, so what's it like being famous?
Yeah.
I mean, Kenny does nearly. You know, it's just like,
That's
what's
true.
it like being recognised everywhere you go?
And he also has
Imagine
this,
Kenny does. He asked David Schwimmer, what's it like being recognised everywhere? What's it like being one of the cast members of Friends? You know, or he insists on saying, our next guest has sold 36 million albums. Who cares? Is that going to make a better interview?
Yeah. Or what's it like having your own a show named after you, Mr. Seinfeld?
Oh God!
But what about the classic? My missus, who's appeared twice now at this stage,
Your missus?
during this meeting.
Oh, yeah.
She copped. Jonathan Ross interviewed Tony Curtis,
Yeah.
and Pat Kenny interviewed him,
Went out
and
same
it
night.
went out on the same night. And Jonathan Ross's interview, Tony Curtis was completely alive, whereas with the other one, it was like watching paint dry.
And the big difference was Jonathan Ross's was actually recorded.
Yes, but
And the other one was
but it
live.
wasn't. But it wasn't edited.
Can I just say one thing?
Jerry Ryan.
Oh, it's Jerry Ryan on
yeah,
that.
Could
now.
I say one thing?
You got my
Tell your
woman-
missus that now. It's not
Could I say
Pat
one
Kenny at all.
thing in the Late Late Show stroke Kenny's favour?
Yeah.
Would you agree or would you not agree? Or how would everybody feel about the situation that when some of these A-list stars come over to call, for want of a better expression, again, the British Isles, in their view, right? They have an itinerary in front of them which goes, on Friday night, you're going to be doing Jonathan Ross. On Saturday, you're going to be doing something called the Late Late Show. You know that in their mind, they're going, the big one for me is Jonathan Ross.
That's
Yeah.
where I'm going to
And
put all my energy.
I may put all my energy and perform a little for Jonathan.
Yeah.
Whereas when I go on the Irish one, I might go,